Greetings you all, it is I, XJesstheFoxX, and guess what? It is my 5th anniversary here on YouTube. Wow, I can't believe it. 5 years on YouTube. Man, does time go fast. So, I've been thinking for quite a while what I wanted to do for my 5th anniversary special, but I came up with a unique situation. I'm going to do a top 5, but it's not going to be like, oh, let's say, like my top 5 games that I used to like but not to this day, or what have you. This is something unique. I'm going to count down the 5 videos that I made in the last 5 years that I like the very best. I'm going to vote each one of them by year. So I'll have one in 2009, one in 2010, one from 2011, one from 2012, and one just last year. It was a pretty hard decision, and it was kind of an interesting one to debate about, because there's been quite a number of videos that I've made over the last 5 years that I liked. But I came up with the ones that I like the best. So here we go. My top 5, or should I say, my 5 favorite videos from the last 5 years. Starting in 2009, this was actually the one where I was just a newbie, and when I was getting into it, I was a full-time spriter, and let me be perfectly honest, some of the stuff that I made was pretty unoriginal. I know. But there are some things that I made that aren't all that bad, and pretty much looking back at it, it's fun to see that you could improve over something that you have made in the past. But for me, the best video that I have made in 2009 would be Episode 5, Double Team Trouble. Let me go ahead and give you the rundown. The episode is about Ray and Jazz coming up with a plan to kidnap Chief Shadow's friends, but at the same time, Jinx, Clash, and Anubis come up with the exact same plan. So it was up to Chief Shadow and Jess to find and take down not only Ray and Jazz, but who I called them at first, Team Vengeance. Now, why do I like this video the very best? Well, I came up with 3 points. 1, I put a lot more effort into animation because, well, unlike certain other spriters in the past, I tried to focus on making some good animation. And at the time, it was pretty good. But now I look at it, it kind of feels a little choppy. But then again, I was using Windows XP's Movie Maker, so it's kind of understandable. As for story, as I mentioned the synopsis of the story, I actually believe that this was one of the better stories that I made for an episode than my previous ones. Particularly like episodes like The Move, where I used a very, very old sprite video cliche, and it was not one of the better ones that I made. But I could definitely say the story for the episode, while it may not be original and may not be creative, it was somewhat creative, but again, it was better than my 4 other episodes. Just saying. And like I said, some of my videos in the past are either A, unoriginal, or B, just plain fucking lazy. Particularly, like say, in terms of laziness, I have to say, the Freezing My Nuts Off parody has been overdone, and I could have put better animation into, say, a sprite rendition of Welcome to the 40 Thieves from Aladdin the King of Thieves. Again, stuff that I made was pretty unoriginal, and looking at it, again, in the present, some of them were not original, some may not be creative, and some can be pretty lazy. But again, at least I've learned something. You can improve, and frankly, I did a pretty good job at it. Let's just hope that I can make episode 6 a little bit better than the previous 5. 2010 was the year where I started making reviews, and needless to say, some of the stuff that I made more and more sprite shorts, but I started trying out different things at the same time. I tried a movie review, and I tried out a video game review. And out of the videos of 2010, the one that I liked the best is a tie between my very first movie and video game review, Alice in Wonderland, the 1951 Disney version, and Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, these two videos is where I started movie reviews and game reviews with these two. Why is it my favorite? Well, first thing, I thought they were the absolute easiest ones to take a look at and review. I wanted to start off something small and easy, and Alice in Wonderland and Shadow the Hedgehog were the perfect ones. It was also the very first time I started scripting as well when it comes to, well, reviewing. I thought I actually did a pretty good job in explaining reasons of why I think something overall. I mean, there are several moments where I had to say something, and then I actually have to explain why, and again, I thought I did a pretty good job. But easily what I really liked about the very most was, in my Alice in Wonderland review, I defended the movie against what Walt Disney claimed on why the movie was a failure. And let me tell you, it is a very shitty reason as to why you call the film a failure. Claiming that Alice lacked heart is one of the stupidest reasons of why somebody would hate a movie. But then again, it's leaning towards the character, so I did explain my counter-arguments, and I just overall, I thought I did pretty well defending something. And I voiced my honest reviews of Shadow the Hedgehog alone. Many of you should know that I love Shadow the Hedgehog. Why? I thought the gameplay was fun, I thought the controls were much better than Sonic Heroes, although they have a learning curve, and I thought the replay value was massive. So, I have no problems if you don't think Alice in Wonderland's that great of a Disney movie, or if you think Shadow the Hedgehog's not a great game, that's fine with me. But there's more opinions to come in the later years.
Curiouser and curiouser.
I take orders from no one. I do as I decide.
2011 was pretty much the reviewing year. I spent a lot of time reviewing movies and video games throughout the year. It's just, well, I alternated between games and movie reviews. But finding out the one that I liked the very best in 2011, again, not an easy decision. But, again, another tie. This time, it's my Cinematic Showdown and my Jak 3 review. I'll talk about Cinematic Showdown first. This was something that I wanted to try out. After seeing my buddy Shatsun11 and Zookstar1000 compare two games and finding out which one is the overall superior game, and the Nostalgia Critics old versus new, I wanted to try doing a comparison video. I wanted to do a battle review. See which one I liked the best. So Cinematic Showdown was the thing that I thought I wanted to do, and I decided again I wanted to go back to Disney's Alice in Wonderland and then compare it to Tim Burton's Alice. And then later in the year, at the final day of the year, I reviewed Jak 3 as a conclusion to my review of the Jak and Daxter trilogy, because quite frankly, 2011 belonged to Jak and Daxter, because I reviewed the entire trilogy. I'm pretty sure some might be wondering why I didn't put my Jak 2 review on here. Well, there are some points that I didn't explain very well, and it'd probably be too predictable. Honestly, I don't hate my Jak 2 review. I just didn't like it as much as my Jak 3 review. So, overall, what I liked very most about these two videos, again, I really liked how Cinematic Showdown came out, and what I had to say comparing the two movies side by side, and Jak 3 voicing my honest opinions about it, and I put a lot of time and effort into making them. Especially the Showdown. I mean, seriously, it is one of the biggest projects I have ever made. I'm not even kidding. And I also really found out that they're just entertaining to go back and watch. Unfortunately, because of Blip TV made a stupid move, my Blip account got deleted, and not only my Spawn review and my Lion King review, the Cinematic Showdown was unfortunately deleted. I have to go back and try to recover the videos and see if I can put them onto another website. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm only showing the trailers for these movies on here to talk about my points, but now you know. So overall, Cinematic Showdown was one of my biggest projects. I liked how I made them. As for Jak 3, I really loved talking about Jak 3, what I thought about the game, explaining everything. It's no wonder why Jak 3 is my favorite video game ever. You already should know. Goddamn difficulty! Now, let's talk about 2012. Oh man. Well, let's just put it this way. 2012 was a very interesting year because I started going back to spriting, but it was also pretty, well, wasn't one of the prettier years. I think it's only because of some of the videos I made. Yeah, that's definitely it. Anyways, the video that I chose, I have to explain. Sometime in 2012, after I got my current laptop, I posted a video saying that I was getting close to 800 subscribers. So I asked the people who watch my videos and wanted them to comment what video game did they want me to review. Yeah, for my 800 subscribers, it was going to be a video game review, but I let my subscribers and the people who watch my videos comment what game they wanted me to review. And I gave them 4 choices. One game won by a landslide. And it's my favorite video of 2012, by the way. The video I am talking, of course, is my review of one of the most infamous Sonic games of all time. Probably even more infamous than Shadow the Hedgehog. That would be my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Oh man. It seems like I can't get away from Sonic 06. Why? It's just because of how this game's infamous reputation comes into play. Despite the infamous reputation, and despite the fact that people despise this game, I had to do it. So, why do I like it? Well, for one thing, I really went into detail about everything, almost everything about the game. Particularly the gameplay, which during the production, it took 4 minutes to talk about the gameplay in general. I also explained the story without spoiling it. I also talked about the design. I talked about how I thought the music was tremendous, and I talked about what I truly thought about the voice acting was just overall just average. Oh, and let me get this out of the way. I remember a comment that was posted on my video that said that I deliberately overlooked about the load times and glitches in the game without explaining it. Let me just say this. I am fully aware that there are glitches and the load times are a major issue in the game, but there's one reason as to why I deliberately avoided talking about them. I didn't want to be redundant. It's one of those issues that it's been brought about by so many reviewers, so many people who reviewed this game, and if I was to say anything else, I'd probably be like, well, a broken record player. And I really didn't want to do that. So, again, I didn't want to be redundant, so I took those out, and I am fully aware that they are an issue. Okay, moving on. This was also another video that took a good amount of effort into making it. It took me like a couple weeks for me to make this video, especially having to re-download all the files that I need to in order to help me with the video game review. Especially considering the fact that I was using my new laptop at the time. And why I thought Sonic 06 was, well, I thought the game was decent, and I voiced my true honest opinions about it because, again, I did not want to be as redundant as everybody else, and if I was to say this game was horrible, then I would be a liar because, honestly, I didn't find this game that bad. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as Jak 3 or Shadow the Hedgehog or Daxter for the PSP, but it's just a game that I just found decent, and I really enjoyed Shadow and Silver's gameplay the very most. That's why I go back to playing this game, because Shadow and Silver's gameplay I thought were the better parts of the game. Sonic's was just absolutely the weakest, a lot filled with problems, and it also led to frustration. Well, not much frustration as say getting annoyed by it. But in regards, Sonic 06's review is one video that I loved making, and I don't regret voicing my true, honest opinion about it.
Wow, that's a pretty snazzy performance there.
Okay, so we finally made it to the very last year, 2013. Let me just say, it has been an abysmal year in terms of making videos because of a lot of reasons. Family issues, headaches, I go bowling, and just overall, I had a problem with making videos in general. There were some times where I was making a video, but I never got the chance to upload them on YouTube. And yes, I have a video in the makings, but it's taking a lot of time because time off has just been a problem because I can't seem to get the videos making without something happening in the real world. And as a result, I only made 8 videos for 2013. 8 videos. And the first video was an April Fool's video. Okay. not out of the way. It's time to talk about my favorite video out of 2013, and I thought the one that I liked the best, and I really love this video. That would be my top 10 favorite video games, which was also my 4th anniversary special and my 1000 subscriber special. Yeah, 3 marks in one video. Unbelievable, isn't it? The video is listed because of videos that I thought were my true honest opinions about certain games. Plus, I was being very fair to all the consoles I own because I have at least 5 consoles that I own, and I like to select one game out of all the consoles I own. So I made it fair with my games for the PlayStation, PS2, PS3, PSP, and the Wii. So voiced getting at least one game out of all 5 of them, I thought I wanted to be fair. And again, I voiced my true honest opinions about it. But I also tried to, well, I just had to explain a few things, and as a result, some of the spots either took a minute and 30 seconds to maybe about 2 minutes for the making. A lot of time and effort was made into them, and boy, let me say, it was a lot of time. I started making it in like November of 2012, but then again, family issues, real life, sickness, it was just stuff that just got in the way. And I finally managed to make it on May 29th. Yeah, November of 2012 to May 29th of 2013. That is absolutely crazy, I know. But still, again, thought, effort, and time, I made it to them, and I hope I delivered the payoff, and I think I did. And just overall, I loved how I made the video. I enjoyed editing stuff out. I got the clips that I needed to use in order to explain my points. And it was just overall a very good video that I loved. I loved making this video, and I continue to watch it to this day. So, my top 10 favorite video games, my 4th anniversary special, my 1000 subscriber special, and it's my absolute favorite video of 2013. So, that's all I have to say about these, so I'd like to ask you guys one little question. Go ahead in the comment section below. What is your favorite video that I've made in the last 5 years, 2009 to 2013? I'd like to hear what you have to say, so anyways, this ought to do it. I'm CS1750's saying good night, good luck, and Jesus Christ, I gotta get into Sonic Generations and Sly Cooper of Thieves in Time. Yeah, I got those games.